Can you just speak to just sort of the adversity that you've overcome in dealing with all of these injuries?
Yeah, man, it's definitely been tough. Um, and the ankle injury and even the cancer diagnosis this year, I feel like it's things that I can't control, and I feel like that's the toughest part about it. Um, and I try to eat the right way. I try to, go to sleep, watch film. I try to do everything possible to, you know what I'm saying, make myself successful in the court. So when stuff like that happens, it's heartbreaking, to be honest with you. Um, but in my mind, I just try to know that it's just adversity, and it's not about this moment right now. It's about how you come up out of it. So I try to keep that in mind and know that um, I feel like after every time I've come back better. So whenever something happens, I always try to keep that in mind. Like, I'm gonna come back better from this. It's gonna make me a better person, make me a better player, and it's only temporary. So I just try to keep that in my head.
With the diagnosis, because this is obviously a different thing than you had faced, uh, in the past, and honestly, even than most players, if any players, currently in the league. How did you kind of wrap your head around it when it first happened?
Oof, I remember I was pacing back and forth for like 5, 10 minutes, trying to just collect my thoughts, trying to figure out how I was going to tell my family. That was really the hardest part. Because for me, I didn't really react. I was just kind of just numb to it. Um, and kind of still am, to be honest with you. But it was like I knew my family wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, especially my mom. So I was just trying to just collect my thoughts, trying to keep people calm, and trying to just show my strength so that they would try to be strong as well. But it was definitely tough. It was like someone who I'd never met before, the doctor for the patient, I never met him in person before, calling me, telling me that. So it was definitely it was the day after I got traded too. So it was just a lot going on.
Take us through the sort of the details, the logistics of how this all developed.
Yeah.
From the outside, our understanding is you got flagged while getting a physical. But had you had any symptoms prior? Why were they scanning that area of your body? How did they find it in the first place?
Yeah. So I guess for the Pacers, it's routine to check knees and lower back. Um, so I got an MRI on both my knees and then MRI on my lower back the day after I got traded. So I got traded. It was public at like 1, 2 p.m. I flew out the next night. I didn't fly out that night. I flew out the next night. And had a physical in the morning. So during that physical, that's when they found everything. So like I said, they scan lower back and knees, but not every team does that. So that's what's crazy about it. So I'm not sure if the Rockets do that. So originally I was traded to Houston, and obviously Houston traded me to Indiana. I'm not sure if I would have stayed in Houston had they found that, because not every team is required to, you know what I'm saying, check your lower back or check your knees or everything like that. Because I didn't have any symptoms.
You
I didn't
didn't
have
have any symptoms, yeah.
nothing. I didn't have any pain. I didn't have any fatigue, nothing, weight loss, nothing.
Did you have any idea that you were going to get traded, that you were going to be in the Harden trade?
I did. I did. Someone called me. We had a game. We were supposed to play the Knicks on it was a TNT game. I remember. So I was about to take a pregame nap. Somebody called me and was like, "Yo, you're about to get traded to Houston. It's like a 90% chance." So I'm like, okay, if it happens, it happens. But if not, I have to get ready for my game. So I'm gonna take a nap and get ready for the game. So I woke up and my phone was going crazy. It was like I woke up to my alarm. I keep my phone on silent, so I didn't hear it, but I picked it up and it was just like refreshing. Like it just kept going. So I'm like, okay, something must have happened. So I called Sean Marks. He had called me a couple of times. I called him back and he basically told me what it was. But then he was like, I'm thinking I'm going to Houston the whole conversation. He's like, man, it hurts to do this, yada, yada, yada. Me and Sean are pretty close too. So it was a tough conversation, but it was like, okay, I'm going to Houston. But at the end of the conversation, he's like, yeah, we traded you to Indiana. I'm like, Indiana? It's like, yeah, we traded you to Houston, but Indy traded you for Vic. So I'm like, oh, wow. So I wasn't even aware of that. So I hung up the phone and I'm just like, wow. And I was just sitting there just thinking like, this is crazy.
This is a lot to digest for anyone in a 48-hour time period.
For
To
sure.
have your professional life uprooted, and then to have the scariest, probably the scariest word possible with regards to personal health.